Daybreak Nigeria from EKTV in the heartbeat of the Southwest. We break your day on EKTV Daybreak Nigeria with inclusive information, news without prejudice, well-articulated reportage, in-depth news analysis, newspaper highlights, business news, sports. Watch EKTV Daybreak Nigeria from 8 to 10 in the morning, Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. EKTV Daybreak Nigeria, your agenda-setting program.
A very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of the program, Daybreak Nigeria. My name is Tosi Olu, and I have my colleague with me, Bimbo. Good morning.
Good morning, Tosi Olu.
Yes, I know that Bimbo will have actually opened the program, but at the same time, we felt it's important for us to also welcome you again on the program. And today is a special day for our children. An international day where we celebrate Children's Day and all over the world. According to that was all arranged from UN, and today in Ekiti State we're also we're also celebrating with the children, and on the need for us to also enlighten the public on the need for us to give the best to our children and at the same time ensure a better life for them. And this morning we're having a guest in the house who is going to be doing justice to these and going to be enlightening us on what is expected of us, what we need to do for our children. And that is the person of the State Director, National Orientation Agency, Mrs. Kemia Komalide. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, viewers at home.
Okay, today is going to be a code mixing. We'll speak Yoruba and English at the same time so that every audience will have a share of the information that we're about to share today. Àti Yorùbá àti Òyìnbó la máa sọ tó yẹ nítorí pé kí àwọn gbogbo èèyàn tó yẹ kó mọ ohun tí a ní lọ́kàn láti tí wọ́n ní lọ́kàn láti sọ fún wọn lẹ́nu nǹkan lè gbọ́ kó lè yé wọn dáadáa. Now, so let me start with you. Celebrating children again. How do you feel as far as National Orientation Agency celebrating children today?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very, very important for us to celebrate our children. You know, when you look at it, you know that they are future and we need to celebrate them. And at the same time, they are gifts from God because they are so real and they're so delicate and we need to nurture them. So that is why we need to celebrate them. We need to encourage them and we need to show them love.
Ma, we've seen some instances whereby we'll have children that it's only the maid that will be taking care of them. Probably the parents, they will have gone to the office and for more than 2 days, such parents will not return home. In such circumstances, if you are to talk to the parents, how do you advise?
Thank you. I want all parents to know this morning that we are just caretakers and we need to take care of these children very, very well. For those parents outside there that they feel that their job is more important than the care of these children, they are missing it. It is not to be so. These children need you. Find the time, find the space to bond with your children, to know what they want. At times when you look at these children that their parents leave at a tender age to the care of a house help or to take them down to the boarding school, we find out that most of them, because I have the course to interact with one or two of them in Sunday school in the church, and by the time you hear from these children, they will tell you, what was motherly love? I didn't enjoy it. My father and my mother, they're always away. No, they're not there to take care of us. So I don't feel anything for them, even if I'm away, for so long. They wouldn't even want to come down to the homes during the holidays. So please, parents, I'm appealing to us, I'm begging us. Let us find time, let us create time for these children to nurture them the way we ought to in the fear of the Lord, and at the same time, so that they will be better persons in the society.
Okay, the theme for this year's program is Little Footsteps, Big Future. future for the children. But in any way, I like you to give us the general message, the intention of Noah, especially in a day like this. Kí ni nǹkan tí Noah ní lọ́kàn láti sọ fún àwọn ènìyàn àti ìyá ni àti bàbá ni àti àwọn ọmọ ni pàápàá ní ọjọ́ ìní?
Thank you very much.
So I'll expect in English and Yoruba.
Yes,
Okay,
I'll do
thank you
that.
so
And in NOA this year, what we have in mind has to do with skill development, and we talk about child's rights and good education. Good education. That is, our children, they must have quality education. Every child is entitled to have an access to good education. And when we talk about this good education, it doesn't really have to be an expensive one. We are not saying you should take your child to schools that you cannot afford, that you need to stretch yourself so much as a parent that you now cause a problem whereby the children will be sent home every now and then at the end of the term, before the term, during the exam, that psychologically it will affect those children. So what we are saying now is both male and female, let us give them quality education. And at the same time, that is what we are saying right now in NOE. And at the same time, we are saying every child has a right. Every child has a right to quality education, to good life, to support, to mentorship. Yes. And at the same time, we are saying that when it comes to skill acquisition, let us let our children know now that it is not only academics. They have to acquire one vocation or one skill that will later help them in the future, even while they're still waiting, while they're in the waiting room, waiting for jobs to come. At least they can lay their hands on something that can, sustain them before whatever jobs they want to do. That is what we want to tell them. That is our message for our children this year in NOA. Ohun tí mò ń sọ ní pàtó ni pé ní ilé iṣẹ́ àjọ NOA pé ní ọdún yìí o, nǹkan tá fẹ́ sọ fáwọn òbí ni pé gbogbo ọmọ ló ní ẹ̀tọ́ sí ẹ̀kọ́ tó yè koro tó yanjú. Kò ń ṣe pé bí iléèwé náà ṣe tóbi tó àbí tó ṣe lówó tó àbí tó ṣe lókìkí tó là ń sọ rárá o. Iléèwé alábọ́dé tá mọ̀ pé a lè fi àwọn ọmọ wa sí, tá fi jẹ́ pé ètò ìṣúná owó wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí kò ní ní wá lára láti mú àwọn ọmọ wa, bóyá ọmọ mẹ́rin, bóyá mẹ́ta, méjì lọ́lọ́run jogún fún wa. Kò ní di pé a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yáwó cooperative, a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yáwó àjọ, ohun tí ò yẹ ká tọwọ́ bọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí. Ó wá di pé ó ń fún wa ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru láti lè sanwó àwọn ọmọ wa. Rárá o, ó léèwé alábọ́dé tí agbára wa ká ní ká mú àwọn ọmọ wa lọ. Àti wípé ká má jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ yìí kí just like I said the other time, ká má jẹ́ pé ká má jẹ́ ká fa ìpòrúurú sí ọkàn àyà wọn, torí pé ìgbà tó bá di pé wọ́n ń wọ ẹlẹ́gbẹ́ wọn tí wọ́n wà ní class tó ti ń ṣèdánwò tó ń lé àwọn síta tí wọ́n ṣe, eléyìí máa fa ìjàmbá fún ọpọlọ wọn, fún ara wọn, fún ọkàn wọn á rẹ̀wẹ̀sì. Ní ìdàkejì, a tún wá sọ pé ní ilé iṣẹ́ àjọ NOA pé kí àwọn òbí wa kàn jọ wọ́n jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ wa kí wọ́n fi ọwọ́ wọn lé iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe ń kàwé, bóyá nínú holiday ni, wọ́n jẹ́ kí àwọn iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan wà ká máa fi fún wọn, kí àwọn ọmọ wa kàn máa ṣe iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ yìí ní abẹ́ òfin. Òfin dẹ̀ fi yé wa pé gbogbo ọmọ ló ní ẹ̀tọ́ sí ẹ̀kọ́ tó yanjú. Ohun tí à ń sọ ní pàtó ní ilé àjọ NOA ní ọdún yìí.
The issue of underage that we now have writing external exams in the time past, you see adults in higher institution, but in the recent times you discover that you see even a 7-year-old old girl in secondary school, even in the boarding school. What is your take on this, ma?
I won't lie to you, it's very, very dangerous. Let me say, one of my children is a victim of this. I won't lie to you, later in life it's going to affect them, because the child is supposed to go through primary 6, primary 5, and because you feel that the child is brilliant, but at the age of 7, age, you decided that let this child go for common entrance. Yes, fine, it's brilliant, and you're moving forward from there gradually to higher institution at an under age. Psychologically, emotionally, that child will not be stable, and it's affected because every now and then you see that my boy calling home, mommy, this is that, and I said I had to tell my husband that we made this mistake and we're not going to do that for another child, because it was really affecting him. So that I'm begging our parents, please let all our children go through all the course outline, the curriculum in school, the classes, the stages. It will develop them academically, mentally, and emotionally, so that by the time they will go to higher institution, they will be stable.
Now, let's come back to the issue. You talked about the issue of the need for them to do one entrepreneurial job or something. Now, the problem, one of the problem with this is, don't you look at it from the angle of too much exposure and danger to molestation? Because if you are asking a 10-year-old girl to possibly go and learn maybe tailoring, hairdressing, or or baking, and in the process, don't you think that we are likely going to be exposing them to mortality?
Thank you very much. When you talk about exposure, already we have an instrument, we have a gadget that is already exposing our children to so many things, and that is in terms of our phones. So the tool is there already in their hands. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Thank God for some secondary schools in Ekiti, and thank God that we went to some tertiary institutions yesterday, and we were able to discover that even right from 100 level, they make sure that these students that engage in one entrepreneurship or the other, so right from secondary school, some said Fridays, some say Saturdays, they bring their children in to learn. Is it home economics? Is it catering? Is it tailoring? So I don't think we are exposing them to danger. It depends on the way we carry it out, the way we are doing it. Or be ashe, you can monitor them. You can ask whoever is their boss that is training them to monitor them for you. And from time to time, as a parent, you check on them as well. Even in schools, even in higher institutions, you do that as a parent. So it's not as if we are exposing them to dangers. If you want to see ọwọ́ ewu àbí tọ́ wọn sí ìpasẹ̀ ewu, no, by doing that, àwọn tó ń kọ́ wọn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí ní ìgbà dé ìgbà, ó yẹ ká máa yọjú sí wọn, ká máa béèrè bí àwọn ọmọ yìí bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣètò, torí tá a bá ní àfi wọ́n sọ́wọ́ ewu tó ṣe pàtàkì tá a ti gbélé wọn lọ́wọ́ nínú ilé ńkọ́, you find out that what you don't even know on your site, on your phones, these children can operate it. The site that you cannot access, they will access it for you, and some of them are dangerous, to their growth, and they're doing it. So I don't think making our children to learn one entrepreneur or the other, we are not exposing them to dangers. It depends on how we feel about it as a parent and the way you go about it.
Okay, there is this notion that some people is having about a program of a state that when we see a girl who is actually pregnant and the state government is making it possible for such a girl to still go back to school. But some people have actually faulted this particular program. What is your take on this? What is your notion about this particular program?
Well, there's always a two side to a coin. I will commend the effort, or let me say the gesture of Her Excellency Professor Olayemi Oyebanji. She has really done well. I think what Her Excellency is trying to do is that she doesn't want this girl to miss it in life. She wants to give them a second chance, a second opportunity for them. Because by the time these children, these girls, drop out of school, might be the end of a good life for them. But some of them, if they have been encouraged and given the opportunity to go back to school, tell their parents they can take the child from them. They still tell them that you still have a chance. There's still a better life for you. No, I feel it serves as an encouragement and an opportunity to give them a second chance. I don't see it as a bad thing. But the girls outside there are now seeing it or want to make use of that opportunity that after all, if I'm pregnant, they'll still take me back in school. It's so unfortunate. But I want to say that Her Excellency has a good mind for doing that. And at the same time, she wants to promote the betterment of a girl child in our society.
In addition to what she just says, let's look at the issue of dealing with molesters. It's unfortunate that you have parents as molesters, you have uncles, you have neighbors, you have landlords as molesters. Generally, with the level, will you say that government is actually, will you say that the level at which government has actually done, generally, not even in the state alone now, that the punishment given to molesters is actually enough? Because one of the things the state government would do is to put them on the internet and display their picture. That is after they have actually been convicted, and I think that is then being in prison for a period. Do you think this is enough? How do you think we can do to protect the life of this, especially the girl child?
Thank you very much. The governments are trying their best, and that is why we are saying charity begins at home. Let every parent, let every fathers and mothers take responsibility in bringing these children home so that they won't be a problem in the society later on in life. And at the same time, I want us to know, just like I said earlier on, that every child has a right in the Constitution, right to life. So we cannot say the little measurement, the little punishment that the government are giving out, let me say the law, we cannot kill them. We can't take their life for all this menace, for all this atrocity. I think the highest that the government can do is to put them in prison, and that is what they are doing. And at the same time, you know, to serve as a warning, a scapegoat for others to see, is to put them on the internet, on the radio, on the television, even during the court cases, they mention their names. I think by the time the parent tells them, can you hear such name? That guy, that girl, you know, what's about Ruko Idileje? And maybe to serve as a caution for those children, you know, so that they will caution themselves. The government are trying, and I think that is a bit good measurement for now. Like I said, there's a chance. Thank God that they now call the place correctional service. They're still going to correct certain things in their lives, because they still believe that there might be changes, you know, for those children. So we should not just condemn them totally. We should not give them death sentence. The government are trying in that aspect. I think second question.
Mo ń bèrè pé kí ni àwọn ọ̀nà la lè gbà láti rí i pé àwọn kinní wọ̀nyí gan adẹ́kun ẹ̀ ní àwùjọ wa, because ká máa wò lóòótọ́ nígbà míì ṣé ẹ̀bi ọmọ ọdún mẹ́ta tó ń rìn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ tí tó dòkó síwájú ilé ìyá ẹ̀ ni bàbá àgbàlagbà ìyá kan tó fi lọ mú. Sorry for using that kind of
Yes.
television. But seriously, now you feel so annoying
Yeah.
when you see things like that. Kí la lè ṣe kí lẹ rò pé ó yẹ kí òbí ṣe sí àmọ́ pé òbí lè lóhùn ṣe ṣùgbọ́n kí ló yẹ kán ṣe sí mi náà pé nǹkan ìdájí nǹkan tá máa sọ bí lè nìyẹn pé kí ló tún yẹ ká tún ṣe láti rí i pé a dákun àti máa rí i pé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ kékeré wa kì í ṣobìnrin nìkan o
Yes.
àtọkùnrin gan.
Yes, they molest boys as well. Yes, I think what we do at proper care, gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí ó sì dúró lórí ìtọ́jú àwọn ọmọ wa. You know.
Bọ́sẹ̀ àní ní kò bí má lọ wo oúnjẹ.
Yes, ní sọ yìí pé kọ́ máa lọ wá oúnjẹ. We won't say they should not go and look for their daily job or daily means, how to survive, how to take care of these children, because all what they are doing is to take care of these children as well by going out to their jobs or to the market to go and sell and to go to their various shops. But àwọn ojúṣe kọ̀ọ̀kan wà tó yẹ ká ṣe. Ọmọ tá a mọ̀ yìí pé ọmọ ọdún mẹ́ta ni, ọmọ ọdún mẹ́rin ni, ọmọ ọdún márùn-ún ni, kò yẹ kí ká máa fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ kọ́kàn máa ṣeré lásán. You find out some parents ọmọ tó ti yẹ ká wọ pátá sí nídìí, a child that's supposed to put pampers, you now say uncle, auntie, that's a boy child, you now give it to one auntie and that auntie start playing with the private parts of the boy. I've seen so many video clips on TikTok. It's very, very bad. All those children, àkókò tó bá yẹ kí àwọn òbí kó wọṣọ fún wọn, they should not allow them to go naked. You don't allow a small child, a small girl, sitting on the lap of an uncle, even if it's the uncle to the father or to the mother, or a brother to the father or to the mother rather. You don't leave them. Let there be proper guidance. And there are some little things that we have to teach them. You know, now thank God for some schools, they'll tell them, show me the important part of your body. What are the parts that your uncles or your aunties, even your daddies and mommies can touch? You know, I've seen that little child telling me, you can touch this, you can touch this, but when you get here, it's a no-go area for you. You don't touch this place. Let us teach them. And at the same time, for all our teenagers, you know, let's start from their mode of dressing. You don't expose your private part that can lure another man to come and harass you. And at the same time, I think it's more of a, will I say, a mental problem for all these elderlies of 50, 60, molesting a child of 6 or 10. You know, if you discover such people around you, please say something. Be a whistleblower. Let people know. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pariwo síta. Jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀. You know, you have 1 or 2 people like that in our environment. Tí wọ́n ń gbé ta ti máa rí wọn wípé bàbá yìí ó ń dágbé, ìyá yìí ó ń dágbé, àbí àwọn iṣẹ́ ibi kéékèèké kan wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Let us say it out. Let the community come to the aid of those children. I think that's another thing that we can do in our society. And for the parents as well, proper care. If you know, if it's possible these days, like this holiday period now, if it's possible, if you can take your child along with you to wherever you want to go to, or you know a person that can take proper care of them, please put them in charge.
One of the child rights acts stipulated that a child should have an access to education. Yes. When we talk about free education, we have APC managing the affairs of the country, and they have always been clamoring for free education. But àwọn Yorùbá bọ̀ máa sọ pé ogun téèyàn bá fi bóyá tó sìn yá mi.
Ogun tá a bá fowó rà ẹ̀yìn àrò ló ń gbé.
Yes. So what is your take on free education? Kẹ̀kọ́ bá sọ ní Yorùbá àti ní èdè.
I will not lie to you. Kò sọ́fẹ̀ kankan mọ́. Only there is no free lunch in kò sí. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Everything is becoming more expensive and expensive. If you want quality education for your child, if you want quality education for our children, tá fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ wa kí wọ́n kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níbi tó dára, we have to pay for it. We cannot shift everything on the government. We cannot put everything on the government. Yes, good accommodation, government. good road government, good water government. What is our own effort? Ipa wo làwọn náà ń kó? Kí ni ipa bá ṣe ń sa ipa wa sí láti rí i pé àwa gan fúnra wa a gbé ìgbé ayé tó dára, a fún àwọn ọmọ wa ní ẹ̀kọ́ tó yanjú, àwa náà ní ipa láti kó. Okay, if the government decide to say, okay, there was a time we having the homegrown feeding program from the federal government that the children, school feeding. We now find out that some parents, when our comos went around the local government, we found out that because of that, some parents will not give their children good food, even in the morning. Kí ni quantity oúnjẹ tí wọ́n fẹ́ fún wọn? Àwọn ọmọ wa tí pé nínú ilé àmọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ń jẹun sí, it's not as big as you can give your child at home. If the meal they are giving them, let's give kudos to the government, they are trying. So, but we too have to do our own. Kò sí free lunch níbi kankan mọ́ o. Ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí ká sa ipá wa. Tí ìjọba bá ní wọ́n fún wọn exercise book méjì, parents be ready that you will buy exercise book mẹ́wàá, because there are courses that their subjects might be 10, might be 15. Ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn ọmọ, the population mélòó ni apá ìjọba fẹ́ ká? Ẹ jẹ́ kí àwa náà ká ran ìjọba lọ́wọ́. Let the landlords in their community, let them come out. Ojú ọ̀nà tí ó dá, let us think of how to bring graders. Let us think of bá ṣe máa ru òkúta síbẹ̀. Don't let us fold our hands and wait until government comes. It will affect our cars, and at the same time we will be the ones spending on those cars. Exactly when it comes to a life of a child, if you put everything on the government will pay for this, government will pay for that, government will buy their uniform. Is it possible? Ó ṣeéṣe, ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà ran ìjọba lọ́wọ́ ká ṣe ojúṣe wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí. Kò sí ọ̀fẹ́ púpọ̀ mọ́ o, ọ̀fẹ́ díẹ̀ ló wà, ìwọ̀nba tí agbára ìjọba bá ká ni wọ́n lè ṣe. We are in millions, our numbers, but the population, so please.
Let's talk about the use of corporal punishment in schools. That we like it or not, the Bible says when you spare the rod, and the Bible actually talks about the issue of discipline. Then there is an English saying that spare the rod,
Spoil the child.
Yes. And in most of our schools now, the issue of corporal punishment are actually pulling out. And there are certain things we do when we're young in schools, cutting of grass, all those things you do on Fridays, ensuring that your blackboard is black, against Monday. All these things are going. And don't you think that is actually one of the reasons why a lot of our children are even becoming a little spoiled, and you have a lot of issues with them? You talk about the issue of dressing. And in those days, when you want to go out of your house, there is a level at which your skirt should get to, and there is nothing, you have to use your belt as a man. All those things are going. Don't you think that the place of us pulling away punishment or a kind of what will deter them from doing some of these things is actually what is really causing all these troubles we have?
Yes. I'll start from that word of God, because I believe we cannot leave God out of everything we are doing. When you talk about the physical, I will tell you that the spiritual control the physical. The Holy Quran is there to guide us. The Bible is there to guide us. Even you will see the Sheshe people, the traditionalists, they will tell you that there's some Esaifa. They will tell you that this is the way your child should go. As a parent, this is how you should do it. There was a time somebody was telling me that the hunters, only on one day, that they have a way of doing their things. And that a wife of a hunter, just like I'm seated here, they will tell you that it's a taboo for another man to come and sit where I just stood up. And because they will feel that you have a feel of that woman because she was sitting on that seat before. They don't do it. So all those things we left undone are really affecting us. I'm still in support of corporal punishment, but it has to be minimal. Because I won't lie to you, some teachers, some tutors, they are overdoing things. There was a time one child was telling me that that one of the teachers roll out a cable, wire cable, electricity cable. He brought it to the school, to beat them. And at the end of the day, you see the scars on these children. Yes, it is good to beat them. And I want to say that in all sincerity, let some of our schools go back to all this. I don't see why you should have toilets, you have corridors in the schools, you have the lawns in the school, and you start employing cleaners, you start employing what do you call them? Gardeners to come and cut it. That is why all these boys, they don't know anything. Please, let us tell them. Like the school we went to yesterday, they were telling us that they made it compulsory for all of them right from 100 level. They must be involved in agriculture. So let us go back. I'm in support of corporal punishment, but let it be minimal. Don't let our teachers abuse it. And at the same time, don't let our parents take offense, because I can see a situation whereby some parents will go to school to go and fight teachers. Why do you beat my child? If you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Even at home, you find out that some parents are no more doing it. There was a time in my office, one of my son came and he did something. Before you know it, I landed him his slap. And one of the staff was saying, this big boy, you are doing that. I said, Yorùbá sọ pé ilá ò kì í ṣe kíni, ó ń ga jù olórè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n máa bẹ́ẹ̀dì. But it's still my child, I can still correct. That next time, he will not repeat it.
Let's still talk about the issue of child abuse. We've seen cases whereby probably a father actually raped a girl that belongs to her, and the family will come in to tell the mother that kò ń ṣe nǹkan tá a lè sọ síta ni o, ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́ bò culturally pé aṣọ fẹ́ borúkọ bàbá ẹ̀ jẹ́ ni, àbí do you want to spoil the name of the family? In that case, is it right? And is it something that is right?
Yes, in a right way, a lot of people still find it
difficult
to come out. Apart from even family, you see how people find it difficult to even come out to talk, even when they experience such a thing.
In fact, I won't lie to you. Last week we were at a gender-based program. Some of these NGOs, that's what they've been fighting for. That let women speak out. Don't let us cover what is not coverable. Àwọn Yorùbá ní nǹkan tí ò ṣe dọwọ́ bò, ká má dọwọ́ bò mọ́. It is time for us to say it out. It's a very, very bad thing. If such things are happening, there was even a time some of these content creators in the said when he brought in a man, when he showed us on the net, and the father was saying, "Shebe mi ni mo lomo mi, èmi náà dẹ̀ ni mo ṣe fún." And people were like, so that this man should be arrested, this man should be jailed. And I'm sure they took it up. It was very, very, very wrong. The human rights, they took it up. And I won't lie to you, it's a very bad thing for a mother to be saying, let us cover it up, or wọn kì í dé láti court wá ṣọ̀rẹ́. No. By the time you do that, the man will repeat it again. Another person will do it again. But by the time you speak out, by the time they jail that person, it will stop. If not totally, I'm sure it's going to be reduced.
Okay, I think we will have to go because of our time, and thank you so much for having the State Director, National Orientation Agency, in our midst, as the President, Mrs. Kenya Komolede. And on a final note, ma'am, you talked about you going to, I think you'll be possibly university. But what's the general word for children generally as they celebrate today? Kí ni ìmọ̀ràn yín fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ àti sọ̀rọ̀ fún òbí àti sọ̀rọ̀ fún àwọn tó ń máa tọ́jú wọn, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ fúnra wọn ń kọ́, kí ni ọ̀rọ̀ yín fún àwọn ọmọ gan fúnra wọn?
Yes, my advice for the children is like I always tell my daughter when she's going to school, I'll tell her, be good. in school. I know the daughter of whom you are. Àmọ̀ràn mi fáwọn ọmọ wa ni pé ẹ ṣe dáradára, ẹ jẹ́ orúkọ rere, ẹ jẹ́ àpẹẹrẹ rere. You know, protect the name of your family, protect the name of the community where you're from. Let them know you for good behavior, for good characters. What you cannot achieve now, give it time, you will achieve it. It's a matter of time. Kọ́ má gbé kẹ̀kẹ́ náà ń pè kẹ̀kẹ́ ṣáájú àbí kọ́ má gbé kẹ̀kẹ́ ṣáájú ẹṣin, not the cat before the horse. So that is my advice for our children.
Thank you so much, and definitely mo sure we want to go, and we know that they are definitely going to work on it. Thank you so much for being part of the program, and
thank
to
you
all
very much.
The group, the people actually came with the state director. We are behind the camera. Want to thank you so much, especially Mrs. Shama. I would mention that one because
Yes.
one of the big journalists that we have in Ekiti State. So we have to recognize. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being part of the program. And thank you so much. We'll go on a short break. We'll come back for more after now. Please don't go away.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Ẹ ṣé. Children's Day la máa sọ oríṣiríṣi.
Daybreak Nigeria from EKTV in the heartbeat of the Southwest. We break your day on EKTV Daybreak Nigeria with inclusive information, news without prejudice, well-articulated reportage, in-depth news analysis, newspaper highlights, business news, sports. Watch EKTV Daybreak Nigeria from 8 to 10 in the morning, Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. EKTV Daybreak Nigeria, your agenda-setting program.